interesting to collect data on how many people up on the pulpit forget their name tags. But anyway, I didn't. So everyone wears a name tag in an effort to practice radical hospitality and to build community. Some are available on the welcome table out in the entry area. I have a few of our sort of standard announcements. So we encourage everyone to take care of your body's needs during the service and engage in ways that help you feel connected, including crafting, doodling, fidgeting, stretching, etc. The fireside space in the back has lots of room for moving around during the service, and we want children of all ages to especially feel free to engage in activities in the back or to be with their adults or to move between the two. If you have a pastoral care need, please feel free to reach out to Reverend Krista. Newcomers are welcome to all of our programming. You need not be a formal member. If you are new to Merging Waters, please consider signing up to receive our weekly e-news, which gives details and links for our events. To sign up, you can include your email address on the sign-in sheet at the welcome table and check the box that gives us permission to add you to the mailing list. If you are online, there is a connection card available on our webpage. And this is a surprise. I have no special announcements today. That does not happen often. That doesn't mean that we are idle, though. We are a busy and vibrant congregation. Joining me in the worship service today are Reverend Krista through some recordings, as she is out sick today, Katie with some storytelling, Terry with music. Our volunteer tech team includes Brian and Byron. Yes, Katie Johnson and Janice Sankott created the service slides. Welcome once again to our service today. We hope these Sunday services provide a time of sanctuary, reflection, connection, and joy.
Good afternoon. My name is Reverend Krista Weber Huang. I use she, her pronouns, and it is my pleasure to be the minister for Merging Waters Unitarian Universalist Congregation. I am so sorry that I'm not able to be with you all today in person, but I am practicing community care and not spreading my cold to you all. But I did want to have a chance to speak with you and be with you in the ways that I can today, because I know all of us are living through these turbulent times. And as we explore what it is to embody resilience, I want to invite us into a time of practice. As many of you know, one of the places that I turn to most when I need a sense of continuity, when I need a sense of reassurance about the world in the midst of chaos and change and violence, is I turn to nature. And I turn to nature just by getting outside and walking, but also through some practices of paganism and neo-paganism. And so today I want to invite you into this service, which is going to look a little different. Some of you know I like to mix things up. So today, instead of having a traditional homily, we're going to walk through a series of meditations and stories that will invite you through the four elements, starting with fire, moving into water, and then earth, and finally ending with air. So during these various meditations, I would invite you to use metaphor and use simile and think about how the stories you hear or how the meditations you are invited into are echoed in your own life, and where there might be lessons for how resilience can be found, how you can ground yourself in an understanding of being part of something larger, part of nature, part of the holy and the sacred that is all around us and all that is happening, even when it's hard to see. And know that that holy and sacred that we see all around us in nature is also inside of us. So as you go into these reflections at this cross quarter of Imbolc, take that time to breathe and be present and see which of these elements or which of these meditations feel most grounding for you. And then take those and expand on them in your own spiritual practice so that you too can find new ways of embodying resilience in this time where much resilience is needed. With that, I will invite us into our first story of fire, which we're going to read before the chalice lighting. So glad you are all with us today.
As Reverend Krista mentioned, we are going to explore the Earth Center holiday of Imbolc, spelled I-M-B-O-L-C. It's a celebration that comes halfway between the winter solstice and the spring equinox and honors the wonder of nature. I like to think of it as the time when between the solstice and the equinox, when you sort of realize that the light has shifted, right? There's sort of a breath. Doesn't mean winter's done, but there's sort of a breath or a noting that something is changing. So the world is beginning to wake up, and the days are getting a little longer. The sun feels a tiny bit warmer. Animals start moving around more, and plants deep underground begin to get ready to grow. As Imbolc arrives and the natural world begins to stir again, it is the perfect time to turn our attention toward stories of resilience. Stories of how light returns, how warmth is rekindled. Stories like the one I'm going to share with you today, a story of how heroes, like Brigid, face a cursed winter not with fear, but with resilience, compassion, and strength. Long ago, as many stories start, when the world was young and the seasons were still finding their rhythm, there came a winter unlike any before. The snow fell endlessly, burying the fields, the rivers, and even the doors of the people's homes. The animals who usually found shelter in the forests grew weak with hunger. The people, too, huddled inside, afraid that spring might never return. In a small village, a girl named Brigid refused to accept this endless winter. You see, Brigid had been born during the coldest time of the year, when the frost lay thick on the land and the rivers were hard as stone. But from the moment she arrived, there was a resilience to her, a warmth about her, and an unseen flame that never went out. She had always been close to the earth. She knew where to find herbs to heal the sick, how to call birds down from the sky with just a sweet whistle from her lips. Brigid listened to the whispers of the trees, the murmur of the rivers, and the quiet secrets of the fire. While others despaired, she wandered into the frozen woods, seeking answers. Deep in the forest, she came upon an old woman wrapped in tattered gray robes, stirring a pot over a weak fire. Her hair was as white as the snow, and her fingers were gnarled like the twisted branches of a winter tree. "You have come far, child," the woman said, her voice cracking like ice. "Why do you wander in these cursed cold?" Brigid bowed respectfully. "I seek to know why winter does not end. The earth sleeps, but it does not wake. The people suffer. The animals grow weak. Tell me, grandmother, what can be done?" The old woman narrowed her eyes. "The cold lingers because the Cailleach, the winter hag, refuses to release her grip. She hoards the fire of spring. hiding it in her mountain cave, letting no warmth return to the land. Bridget's heart blazed like an ember. She could not let winter rule forever. So she set off toward the mountain, climbing through thick drifts of snow, bracing against the howling wind. At last, she reached the cave of the Kelech, where great icicles hung like spears from the ceiling. In the center of the cave, a small fire burned low, barely flickering. "Who dares enter my domain?" The Kelech voice boomed, echoing off the frozen walls. Her skin was like cracked stone, her eyes sharp as a falcon's. "I am Bridget," said the girl, declaring, standing tall, despite the cold. "I have come to bring back the fire of spring." "Ha, ha, ha, ha," the Kelech laughed, a sound like breaking ice. "You, a mere girl? The fire is mine. The world belongs to winter." But Bridget did not waver. She knelt before the fire and cupped her hands around it, whispering a blessing. The ember within the flame pulsed, as if recognizing her voice. She blew gently, feeding it with her breath, her warmth, her courage. The fire flared, glowing brighter. The ice walls trembled. The Kelech let out a cry as the warmth spread, melting the frost from the cave walls, loosening winter's grip. Seeing she could not win, the Kelech shrank away, retreating into the shadows. Bridget gathered the flame and carried it back down the mountain. As she walked, the snow began to soften, the rivers began to flow, and the first green shoots pushed through the earth. The people rejoiced. Rejoice. Yay! For they knew the balance had been restored. From that day on, Bridget was honored as a keeper of the flame, a guardian of warmth, renewal, and the turning of the seasons. And so each year at Imbolc, people light candles in her name, remembering that even in the coldest times, the fire of life and hope cannot be extinguished.
Our chalice will now be lit in person, and I encourage those of you online to light one at home. May it remind us of our shared values of interdependence, equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, and justice, which we center around the flame of love.
Please rise in body or spirit as we join in singing "We Shall Be Known" by Mamuse. The lyrics will be on the screen as well as shared to Zoom for those joining online. People at home will be muted and are welcome to sing along.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
This is our reflection on water, called The Strength of Water by Jamila Batchelder and Molly Hausch Gordon. The strength of water takes on many, many forms. Just as each of you has a unique and necessary strength that you bring to our community and to the work of love. Take a moment now to drop down into the deep wellspring of your own spirit and bathe yourself in the strength that is the groundwater of your person. Are you a roaring fall wearing rock away with sheer force of will? Are you a tiny drop of water in a crevice, breaking it open slowly and steadily? Are you buoyant, like a great salt lake, practiced at holding others aloft? Are you tenacious like the mountain stream, finding your way down and around every obstacle you face? Are you still and calm like the pond at daybreak, offering radiant peace by your shores? Are you in touch with hidden depths, pulling from a vast well? Do you soothe like the steam rising from a cup of tea? Do you dissolve away stubborn muck like water left in a pot to soak? Do you soften and soothe the edges like a creeping fog? Do you clear away distraction like a cleansing rain? Do you roll with the ebb and flow like the ocean waves? Settle your mind upon the strength, the power that is yours. Draw that strength into your heart. Draw it deep into your soul. As we gather together the many waters of this community, we need each of your power, each of your resilience, each of your love to make us whole. The lyrics will be on the screen, and Terry will lead us in song.
There is love holding me. There is love holding all that I love. There is love holding all I
Let us move now into our meditations on earth. Every spring, Side with Love, the organizing strategy team of the Unitarian Universalist Association, holds an annual celebration called 30 Days of Love that runs approximately from Martin Luther King Day to Valentine's Day, with weekly offerings of spiritual nourishment, political grounding, and shared practices of faith and justice. This year, the theme is Love at the Center, Reimagining the World as It Could Be. Seems like a pretty appropriate theme to me. If you aren't familiar with 30 Days of Love or with the Side with Love organizing team, I highly encourage you to check them out at sidewithlove.org or sidewithlove.org/30 Days of Love. But now, I'd like to invite you to join me in meditation as I read the body practice from week 2, inspired by Our Roots of Resilience by Kimberly Ann Tomzak, Carlson. And you may wish to settle your feet on the ground, or if that's not comfortable for you, find another way of grounding and centering your body as we move into this body practice. Feel the gravity of the earth holding you in place. Wiggle your toes as if they were roots. Roots connect you to the earth, lending you strength. Gently sway in the wind, turning your body like a trunk of a tree. Leaning this way and that, bending as the air pushes and pulls. What surrounds you may sway you, make you bend and feel unbalanced. Wiggle your toes. Know that your roots can hold you as you grow and learn. A tree is nourished by the soil and water. You are nourished by food the earth grows and water it provides. You are cared for and loved by many people. Breathe deeply. Still yourself. Know that your roots are strong. Wiggle your roots.
So I'll stay down here. So it's story time. We will have the slides up there. I also have a book here. If anyone wants to come closer, I can show you the pictures here. Probably easier to see there. This story is called The Hugging Tree, a story about resilience. It's written by Jill Neimark and illustrated by Nicole Wong. On a bleak and lonely rock, by a vast and mighty sea, grew a lonely little tree, where no tree should ever be. How she got there, no one knew. She sprouted stems and little leaves, as any tiny seed will do. There's hardly any dirt for me, no forest breeze, no birds, no bees, but I will do the best I can to make this rock my home. Her tiny roots pushed night and day, and bit by bit the rock gave way. A smidge, an inch, a foot, then 2. She grew and grew and grew and grew. The ocean hugged the rocky shore. I like you near me, little tree. Let's keep each other company. Soft gold sunbeams kissed her crown, warm as honey pouring down. At night she raised her branches high to greet the moon up in the sky. I wax and wane, I ebb and flow. I cycle through from full to thin, and when I'm done, I start again. That's how life is, you know. One summer noon, a pair of loons landed on her canopy, a pretty tree, a sparkling sea. Shall we make this place our home and raise our baby chicks right here? The little tree warmed up with pride. She spread her branches high and wide. I'll be your home, she replied. And can you tell me if you've seen the forest where my family grew? We've built our nest in trees like you, quite far from here, and so you blew many nights and many days. You flew on wind, just like we do. They built their nest, they laid their eggs, and soon 2 baby chicks were born. Summer passed, and autumn too. The little tree turned red and gold, then winter came with howling winds and cutting cold that broke her boughs. The loons flew south, the sea all ice, the rock all snow. The moon was lost in thunderclouds. Mighty cliff, hold me tight, don't let me blow away. Little tree, with all my might, I'll hold you close, night and day. Storms will come and storms will go. At last the sun melted the snow, but now the tree could not grow. The storm had torn her roots. The moon gazed down and softly said, sometimes we lose our way, but with some help we start again. That's how life is, you know. And soon a boy came running by, skipping stones into the sea. When he saw the little tree, he stopped and stared. He touched the tiny leaves. He felt the ragged roots. He shook his head and said, I can bring just what you need. I can help you, little tree. A tree can't hug a boy. It has no hands or arms, but it can hug you with his heart, and that is just as deep and warm. Every day the boy came back carrying a full backpack. From the pack he took a tin and poured out rich brown earth. He packed the roots and tucked them in. He planted flowers round the tree and made a path for all to see. Now everyone will know that even on a granite cliff, a little tree can grow. And then he went to sleep and dreamed the things that boys dream of. Now, every day, new people stop to rest beneath the little tree and dream the things we all dream of. To love, to share, to give, to dare, to grow just where we are. And to this very day, they come. For on a splendid sunny rock, by a warm and bright blue sea, A great big hugging tree grows just where she was meant to be. The end.
Terry is going to play a song called Hand in Hand by the Okie Dokie Brothers. Sing along if you know the words.
So I think you can pick it up. When the night gets cold and icy and we have no place to stand, we will reach out for each other and we'll find our way hand in hand. There's a power coming up from the land when we stand hand in hand. There's a power coming up from the land when we stand hand in hand. When peace is at the fringes and it seems like love's been banned, we will reach out for each other and we'll find our way hand in hand. There's a power coming up from the land when we stand hand in hand. There's a power coming up from the land when we stand hand in hand. Once more. There's a power coming up from the land when we stand hand in hand. There's a power coming up from the land when we stand hand in hand. When we stand hand in hand.
This is our reading on air.
Breathe, said the wind.
How can I breathe at a time like this, when the air is full of the smoke of burning tires, burning lives?
Just breathe, the wind insisted.
Easy for you to say if the weight of injustice is not wrapped around your throat, cutting off all air.
I need you to breathe. I need you to breathe.
Don't tell me to be calm when there are so many reasons to be angry, so much cause for despair.
I didn't say to be calm, said the wind. I said to breathe. We're going to need a lot of air to make this hurricane together.
There's a video.
Air is our last element for today. And it can be an interesting one because it can feel a little hard to grasp, while at the same time, it is so much a part of our living that we sometimes take it for granted. Air is found in many traditions, including in Hebrew, where the word rauch stands for wind or breath or spirit. And it talks about that first breath of life that flowed across the waters. In our own Unitarian Universalist tradition, we sing breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. And yet, this song can be used in many ways to help us breathe in what we need for resilience and breathe out what we hope to see in the world in any given moment. And breathing is also very, very connected to our neurology and the way that we calm our nervous systems. So I want to take just a minute or two to invite you to do some intentional deep breathing. Yes, we are doing a lot of breathing today. It is very much part of practicing and embodying resilience. This time, I want you to focus on counting your breath. It doesn't matter how many counts you do. The important thing is that you take a nice deep breath in, and then when you count the breath in, and when you count the breath out, try to make the count going out longer than the count going in. So you might breathe in for 4, breathe out for 6. Again, the numbers aren't as important as the difference, right? That difference in breathing and the way we experience the air flowing in and out of our bodies, that spirit of life, that difference in time actually signals our bodies and our brains to calm down. It can be a very, very powerful practice of resilience in those moments where we may be feeling ourselves starting to get dysregulated. So I'm going to do 3 counts of 4 in and 6 out, and I'll invite you to count in whatever way works for you. Let us breathe together. If you can, try to go in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you breathe out, try to let the tension fall from your body. Keep practicing this breathing in the days and the weeks to come. One of the other parts of the element of air is that it's how we make sound. It's an integral part of how we communicate. And in this church, we love our music and our singing. And hopefully the songs today have also added to your meditations on these elements. And so as we end with air, we'll invite us into our offering, and then Terry will share a song with us about claiming our voice and the way that air shows up in how we speak.
To shut me or cut me down, I won't be silent. You can't keep me quiet. Won't trouble when you try it. All I know is I won't go speechless, 'cause I'll breathe when they try to suffocate me. Don't you underestimate me, 'cause I know that I won't go speechless. New stone, every rule, every word, centuries old and unbending. Stay in your place, better seen and not heard. Well, now that story's ending, 'cause I cannot start to grow. So come on and try to shut me and cut me down. I won't be silent.
close our service today with these words by the Reverend Michelle Collins called Rhythms of Renewal. The circle widens, the season turns. We have paused in this hour to remember that the world remakes itself by rhythm, not by force. As you leave this place, let yourself join that rhythm, giving and receiving, resting and moving, one small life in a great turning of renewal.